Welcome to our channel. Federico and Mary of Denmark give their first interview as kings and talk about the difficulties of their new position. The monarch and his wife confess that there have been many changes and that at times it has been overwhelming. Federico and Mary of Denmark are making their first international tour as kings aboard the spectacular royal ship Dannebrog, a type of floating palace that dates back to 1932. An appointment that comes 4 months after the proclamation of the head of state, and that will marriage to some neighboring countries, such as Sweden and Norway, with the intention of strengthening ties with them. A trip that the Danish sovereign and his wife took advantage of to give a television interview, in which they spoke about the challenges they have faced in these first months on the throne and the future of his reign. The abdication of Queen Margaret, which was announced by surprise on December 31, 2023, and became official on January 14, meant that Frederick and Mary had to adapt to their new position and responsibilities against the clock. A transition that has not been entirely easy for them. At times, it has been overwhelming. There have been many changes and many decisions, both big and small, had to be made. Not everything can happen in an instant, the Queen confessed in front of the TV2 channel cameras. A feeling that Federico, regardless of whether we already know how everything works, there are still many new things like running a government council, certain audiences, or ambassador receptions. You know it's part of the job, but it's new to me. However, once this period of adaptation has passed, Federico and Mary are very clear about the purposes they want to carry out and the activities in which they are going to devote themselves during the time they are reigning with the aim of improving the present and future of the Danes. We have not set a fixed route, but we have set a good direction. We will continue the path we have traced with our interest in nature, communities, and business. We want to be a royal couple visible and present throughout Denmark, said Mary. On January 14, a historic day was experienced in Denmark. Queen Margaret put an end to her 52-year reign by abdicating in favor of her firstborn, who became King Frederick when he was waiting in tears for his wife at the altar, and of whom he retains a particularly fond memory. Perhaps the most emotional thing was when Mary and the children came out to the Christiansborg balcony and stood behind me, and I had the citizens there in front of me waving. I felt very happy at that moment. It was one of the most incredible things I have ever experienced in my life.